I'm going to bring on, I have to say, it's probably going to be the sexiest guest that I have. It is Thursday with the underwear model himself, Joshua J.
Hello.
Hello. Well, it's lovely to see you again.
Because it's been a whole minute and a half.
I know. And it's weird. I know we have viewers because they make comments and then I don't see them on a thing. I'm not sure I know how to use this, but
yeah, I'm not sure how to use it either.
We decided that we are going to bring you on every Thursday because you and Sarah Jean Stewart have started that beer thing. Can you tell? Well, I play with the lights. Can you tell us a little bit about that beer thing, my love?
Yes, thanks. That beer thing is a website that will feature a blog written by myself and Sarah, Adventure Seeker Sarah, that will focus on beer specifically, beer culture, brewing, local beer, some more beer.
Beer. So beer is kind of your thing. So why didn't you do this with your wife? Why don't you do a blog about beer with me?
You'd think that'd be a great idea, but my wife hates beer.
I don't drink beer. Actually, I don't drink at all anymore. But I mean, I tried to do that wine thing. Hey, Jen.
Hey, Jen, what you...
Yeah, exactly. And then she passed out. No. Yeah. So you have had a love of beer and you were well into craft beer long before anyone else was. Like you wouldn't.
Well, I wouldn't say before anyone else, but yeah, I guess I an early adopter for sure, but
well, no, you used to go to, in Regina, you used to go to the Bushwhacker Brew Pub, and there was a bunch of other beer nerds that you had in your basement, and you guys would just talk about beer, and it was like, I always thought that was interesting because but then my fun was going to board meetings for nonprofits.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I know how to cut loose, baby.
Okay. So can I get started on my thing here? So
Absolutely.
So I guess I will be here on Thursdays for Thursdays. And by the way, being right after Melissa, who launched and was the owner of Flying Canoe, is kind of cool for Thursday.
And sold it to, and you know who they sold it to, right? It was Saunders.
Yes.
No, yes. Great synergy.
So, as I'm not a fan of cider in the first place, I would say that was one of the only ciders that I've ever enjoyed. So
they did a good job.
Thanks to them. They did
a great job.
So
you're going to bring recommendations every week so people know what to drink.
Yeah. So this week I've chosen a beer from local, but not Ontario, Ottawa local beer. And in your theme of positivity, this was brewed specifically for I guess Kingston Pride specifically, but
very cool.
Pride itself. So this is a wheat beer, brewed by I'm just doing an episode of Hey Josh, What You Drinking now, by the way. This is so if anyone would like to go and see Hey Josh, What You Drinking at YouTube, that's Hey Josh, What You Drinking, or at Hey Josh, at That Beer Thing on TikTok and the Instagram. Yeah. So I will take a beer like this and show it and be all like, ooh, look, a beer. Yeah. And I'll tell everybody where it came from. This one came from our Spearhead in Kingston. And typically I'll just read off what the back here says. And this one talks about how it was brewed in celebration of diversity, inclusion, and love for the Kingston Queens and Canadian Center for Gender Sexual Diversity. That's a...
but why is the pour so important? You're about to pour it. I want to know, because why don't you have it ready for them before they come? Tell me about the pour.
It's just sexy.
Well, when you do it, sure.
pouring a beer out is an important part of the drinking process. So you have to, it's all the senses, right? It's not just gluck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not like you and your wine. So anyway, I'm going to get on to...
Yeah, keep going. Okay, I want to see the pour.
Okay, here we go. So...
hold it up higher because
I got to crack it first so it doesn't splatter over my computer. Okay, so
Oh,
what I have here
look at
is a
how
wheat.
his hands are slow.
So I have this is a wheat beer, and a wheat beer
Is
is
it wheat beer or wheat beer?
wheat,
Oh, like Saskatchewan beer.
like Saskatchewan, yes. So a wheat beer is a type of beer that's made with malt, wheat malt instead of barley malt, typically.
Okay.
And
So pour it higher because it
okay.
has the thing.
I haven't started yet. So
Okay. So bossy.
yeah, very bossy. So a wheat beer is typically a much a lighter beer than a barley beer, but still, this one happens to be like 5% alcohol.
Is that light? I don't know.
No, that's just like right in the middle. So so this is probably going to pour out very pale, and you can't smell it, but I'll tell you right now, there's 0 viewers. There's so wheat beers are usually brewed with a specific type of yeast that gives it a almost banana-y kind of candy aroma.
Banana. You're not making this sound better for me.
Banana-y, not banana, but banana-y.
Okay.
Banana-ish, banana-esque.
Okay.
And this one definitely has it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this,
okay.
And then I'm gonna do the thing. So I'm pouring it out.
Okay, and so why is it important to tilt the glass? Because you always yelled at me when I would do it.
Okay, well, you do that to start, so that doesn't get all too heady, and then but you do still want to have a good amount of head.
That's the foam.
That's the foam, yes. So I don't want it. I want it to be foamy, but not too foamy. So I control the pour by making like that. So that's a great pour for me, and the foam on the beer is an important part of it too. It helps develop the aromas and the flavors, and it really gets it going in your nose. It's not just put it in your mouth and drink it. I heard it, but there's a whole process.
I heard it.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm looking at this, and as I said, I expected a very pale beer, and I've got that. I would have expected it to be fairly cloudy. This is more cloudy than I would have expected, but I'm also just read on the can that this has peach puree in it, so that would definitely contribute to the cloudiness. So anyway, it's all poured out now.
Sounds interesting.
It is interesting.
Let's see the taste. So you're sniffing it, you know.
So all the senses, right? I'm sniffing it. The banana aroma is much more pronounced like this. So so far, I'm very impressed with it. I haven't even put it in my mouth yet. So, and then
that's what she said.
Okay, yeah. So at this point, this is where I have to stop and do the things for the socials. Sorry, so I have to take pictures. So I got my
We're not actually doing an episode.
Yes, I am.
Are you?
Yeah, this is being broadcast on my my YouTube right now. So
okay, I did know that.
You did know you set that up. So I'm gonna leave Melissa in there, and then just in the notes I'll say beer review starts at 3.9 seconds or something.
Oh, okay, very cool, very cool.
Okay, so as I
see the taste.
Okay, so it's got a wheat beers would typically have an almost wheat kind of grainy bread aroma to it, but it also has that yeasty banana like background to it, and
banana yeast. You're making it sound sexy.
I don't
non-beer drinker.
You just want. I don't get any of the peach in it right now, but I'm sure once I take a sip, I will. Anyway, so cheers. Thanks for
Salut, sociable. But the Borgia.
All right.
I've been married to you a long time. All right.
As wheat beer goes, they're not my favorite.
Yeah.
But this is really good. This has a grainy kind of taste to it.
Okay.
And I meant grain. I mean, like it tastes like grain.
Yeah.
The banana flavor is there, but it's not pronounced, and it definitely has a nice hoppiness to it. And I don't know if you can see how bubbly it is.
I can see the bubbles.
This a wheat beer is typically fairly effervescent, and this is very typical of a good wheat beer. And this is a good wheat beer. I'm very happy with this.
Excellent.
Spearhead.
So he is happy with Spearhead, beer,
Pride,
wheat, bananas, wheat, yeast.
You're talking like a beer person now.
Yeah, I know that you've never been more turned on.
So,
remember, we are married, folks. That's right. I go far to get my guests, but what I want to ask you more about your beer thing.
Okay.
And not that, it's literally that beer thing.
The beer thing, that beer thing, yes.
That beer thing is, .ca, and is coming soon. But one of my big questions about this is because I actually like this, that you don't want to do beer reviews, you're doing beer tastings. Explain the difference.
Well, the idea came to me in the first place because I was part of an online beer tasting event.
Okay.
Put on by
Orleans?
Put on by the people at the one in Bell's Corners, the
Conspiracy?
No, the other one.
Giuseppe?
That's the one. Thank you very much. And I thought
that's a lot of beer.
Too much beer, right? Kitchissippi, yeah. Well, there's three really good ones in Bell's Corners a lot. And where was I going? I had too much beer already. The idea
for about why you don't like beer reviews.
All right, why I don't like beer reviews. No, I like beer reviews. I do them all
beer
the time.
Ratings. I mean,
beer ratings. Okay, you mean like ratings on on
like
a
five stars.
Okay, there's several websites that give beer ratings. There's a rate that beer, and there's like the apps. There's several different apps. Untapped is one of the popular ones that I like best, but they typically will ask the drinker to rate that beer out of 5. Okay. And I don't like doing that. I like being subjective or subjective. No, I like being objective, not subjective. Right? So I don't want to say this was a 5-star beer because what does that mean? That means I really liked it, but someone who hates it is going to say, "Oh, that's a 0-star beer."
Well, yeah, for me, I mean, it would still be
right. So
if I was rating beers, I'd say it still tastes like beer.
If I'm going to do a review, I'm going to purposely not press that 5-star or 2-star or whatever, but I'm going to say I like this beer because I didn't like this beer because. So
love it.
And also, and then I don't know this for sure, and I've only heard it from one person who works in the industry. It's like they find. It's frustrating, and it must be. I could understand. It must be really frustrating for a brewer who's put his time and effort and all that they've got into it, and they go and look at their review on Untapped and it says 3 stars. It's like how this is. But then as 4 people said, "Oh, this was excellent," and one person said, "Oh, 1 star." It's like I guess
so you're a beer hippie, is what you mean. Everybody gets a participation.
Participation ribbon. Sure, it's an egalitarian. Egalitarian. Yes, I'm an egalitarian beer snob. Yes.
All right, so everyone, Joshua J. and Adventure Seeker Sarah starting the blog. I believe it's dropping February 12th, something like that.
That the week of the 10th is the goal. So
the week of the 10th, yeah. And you've been writing up a storm, and I'm really excited to see this succeed.
Sarah has been writing. Well, Sarah's in Costa Rica right now. Anybody who watched yesterday saw her in Costa Rica. She visited a brewery there and will contribute a portion, but yeah, so we're pretty excited about that. But
what if someone wanted to be a contributor or to help out with that beer thing? How can they contact you?
Well, that's definitely something that we're considering in the near future. There are a lot of great beer bloggers in Ottawa specifically, but also in all across the country, and they
I'm
could.
just talking about, because I know guys who have guy crushes on you. I think
Oh
it's because
well,
they want me, but it's because you're kind of that cool guy. So what I was trying to get you to say is right now, the best way to follow Josh is to subscribe to Hey Josh, What You
yes.
Drinking?
Hey Josh, what you drinking on YouTube? Please like and subscribe, especially subscribe. The more people subscribe to Hey Josh,
Go
what
to
you
your
drinking?
TikTok, That Beer
Right.
Thing.
Well, specifically YouTube, because then I can do more things and
Yeah.
monetize.
All right. So Josh is going to be here every Thursday. Thursday is bringing a new beer. And as we continue to grow from 0 to 10 to 20 to 1,000, yeah, shush. It's people come and look after. That's the whole point. The live is the excitement, interaction, and it'll come. It's like I just told Melissa, is that, we could just give up and say, oh, today, no one. And I know the time, but people just need to get used to it and say, oh, exciting. So right now, I mean, one thing I've decided is not to stress about anything and just to organically grow this. And that's the way we do things. So I want to thank my
this is great. No matter what, it still goes up on my YouTube, and I can
absolutely. And you get to see a hottie for a little bit that you can then come downstairs and see after. We definitely need better lighting in both of our rooms. But for now, I want to thank Joshua J for coming. Again, hey Josh, what you drinking on YouTube?
On YouTube, and
whatcha, not what are you?
Yeah,
whatcha, because my
really.
husband has grammar, and every boutique.
boutique. Hey,
So
Josh.